Hello, this is John. I'm back with, well, let's just talk about ultralights. I got a good one for you today. So, when it comes to iconic ultralights, the Pen 716 has got to be, it set the standard. Awesome reel. Then the Shakespeare 2052 Royal Maroon. These are called, this is a greenie. Of course, they have this in the black and gold too. It's the same reel, just a little bit different look. This is a 2052. I fish with these. These are right off my rods. It's a Model EE, so that's a 66, I believe. Year I was born. I think that's right. These two reels are, they had, one of them had to copy the other. I don't know which one. They're both made in the USA. Those are good reels. And then, if you want to get into some really cool rear drags, there's a 752. Super light compared to those. And this, I do fish with this one. Great little reel. It's a good creek reel. These are iconic. I mean, these are reels. And then let's just talk about Daiwas. Daiwas. It's a 1000. So smooth. And if you want to be micro light, this one is not on a rod. I do have one on a rod, not this one. How about a 500? That's a small reel. I love it. This is the, in my opinion, the perfect creek reel. Okay. And then, oh, wrong one. There's a quick 110. These are great reels. This one's not going to turn smooth because I got a hair tie around the spool, but this is a tank. And literally, it's very comparable in size to the, let me get my hands unwrapped out of it, and to the 716. Very comparable. And then, of course, they made one even smaller over at D.A.M. This one also doesn't turn well because of this hair tie. But there's the micro light. These are all reels I fish with. I got a few others too. I got some Shimano, older vintage Shimano ultralights. I've got some older Daiwa. I got some Seiko Daiwas, which are pretty cool. So these are all iconic, right? I'll be getting these out of the way in just a second. I won this at auction. I paid $2 for it. I can guarantee you every one of these reels was bought at auction, and every one of them had something wrong with it. So my disclaimer is, if you're going to buy reels at auction, be prepared to fix it. If you don't know how to fix reels, if you're going to buy something at auction, make sure it's like brand new in a box or something. Because every reel I buy has to have something done to it. This reel looked perfect in the pictures. I thought, man, I bought a group of like 6 reels just for this reel. I got lucky that there was 2 other reels in there really worth some money. I don't know how people pass that up, but this reel, when it came in, the spring for the spool, the spool trip or bail trip was broke or gone, actually. I had one. The 220 uses the same spring as the 110, so I had one of those. And the bail spring was broke. Well, I know this from a fact because I've rebuilt a few of these. The spring in a 110 is the same as the spring in a 2052. The twist is a little bit different, but it will work. So with all that known, let's rebuild this thing. I love these ultralights. This is what keeps me going when it comes to fishing reels. I can't get to the coast every weekend like I'd like to fish, so I go out and fish the creeks and streams. I don't own a boat and I won't own a boat again unless it's something like a little pond prowler or something. Boats are just too much trouble for me. That's not snapping in. There it goes. So let's fix this old 110. I got it all together now. It will work. It's just really stiff, needs a good cleaning. Here's your drag system, which there isn't much to it. It's really just, I think it's just a washer or two. Yep, so it's a steel washer and a Teflon. And that's it. That's the whole spool drags. I'll hand clean the spool. Made in West Germany, 110. To get your handle off, this handle's a little beat up, but it'll be okay. To get this off, and this handle is bent. Watch how it turns. So I'm going to have to straighten that out. Hopefully I can do that without breaking. If I break it, you'll never see this video. Let me get my screwdriver out here. And there's another cat here. What the? Is he coming down here and just crawling all over this stuff or what? But anyway, we got rid of the cat here. Let's see if we can get this thing apart. Yeah, got that one loose. We have had 4 straight days of rain here in Virginia. And on top of that, it's cold. It's June and it's cold. It's like 40 flipping degrees. I'm like, just give me the 95 hazy, hot, humid, typical weather we have here in June, you know. June's usually the best month for bass fishing, but this weather's got the bass all jacked. I mean, they don't know what to do. They're going to turn on probably about mid next week. This video will be coming out in September. I'm way ahead. I'm trying to shoot my videos in higher resolution. I've had some pretty constructive criticism that my videos are a little grainy. I shoot with my phone. My phone is about 2 years old now. Maybe it's time to upgrade. You know, by the time you get a phone paid for, it's time to upgrade, right? They got that figured out. So we'll take those 3 screws out. This cat, or actually this whole end plate can come off, but this emblem will come out of there too. I just got to knock it out. All right, you got a C-clip in here. You see the problem with this reel. It's just gummy. And lucky for me, I've got fresh fluid in the parts washer, the ultrasonic. This has a really small little screw in it right here. It's a pin. It's not really even a screw. It doesn't tighten down into anything. It goes into the shaft and stops. So like I said, if you're going to buy reels at auction, be prepared to repair them or just don't buy them. I get all kinds of weird things. That almost looks bent, but maybe not. We'll pull that out now. I got to take that apart. There's a 10 millimeter in there. I may be able to get it with these. I've fixed a bunch of these things, and I've sold a few over the years. I keep a few. This one's in good shape. There's no corrosion, or of course these things don't get used in salt water very often, so corrosion is usually not an issue. But Oh boy. Talk about in pretty good shape and can't get it apart. That's not good. Well, here's what I do in this situation. Put the nut back on it. If you can get it back, it's tight down. It's so small. All right, let's get a couple of turns on that. Take your non-marring hammer. Hopefully it came loose. I can't really tell if it moved or not. I would say this is the original grease in this reel. Boy, it's just hard to do anything with. I don't know if I've got a 10 millimeter out here or not. 10 millimeter? Nope. Oh, goodness. Well, okay. Well, I don't know why, but it's now the nut's on there crooked, so I'm going to have to fight it to get it off. This is nice. It's stuck. Why is it stuck? Yeah, I'm probably going to have to hit it just like that. You know, it may unthread. I bet it does. It's been a while since I've been into one of these. Yep. Glad I didn't keep on beating on it. Been a while. I've done a few of them, but it's been a while. Okay, keep that in mind. You have to unthread the rotor. And there's my spring I was missing. It was still in the reel. Okay, now we got it off of there. No shims. I'll put that back in my parts box. Well, no harm, no foul. I'm about to sneeze. Take a... Here we go. That's the housing. That can be cleaned up. That's going to clean up really nice too, by the way. You've got a wavy washer and then a regular washer, which is like a shield. We're going to remove this from the shaft. It's a press fit, but it's not super duper tight. Now I can clean that. I just took an old socket, put that in there with the bearing, and just hammered it off. We're going to soak that bearing in some WD-40 because I'm going to have to clean it. That WD-40 will clean it up pretty good. All right, let's take the rotor, which I've already had this apart because I've already been working on it. So I know there's no corrosion there. And that just comes off like that, and your roller comes out. And you don't really have to take this off. It unthreads. I don't mess with it because if you try to put a pair of pliers on there, you'll mess it up. It just is what it is. We'll take this apart. It's a little bit hard to set this bell spring because it's not the right bell spring for this reel, but it'll be fine. It's snappy, not gonna lie, but it won't hurt anything. So it sets about right there. You got to come all the way around with it. And like I said, it is a spring, and it's a little bit, golly, John, it's a little bit twisted. I probably could take some of that twist out there, but it'll be okay. So we're going to clean all that up. This is good. Like I said, I put a new spring in it, which was that spring that somehow made its way back into here on the reel. So that's fun. This needs to come out. Oh my gosh, look at that ugliness. Let's get some of that off of there. Whew. It's like chocolate fudge. It should pop right off. There it goes. All right, so we can clean on that. That has not been off since factory. This thing, more nastiness, more nastiness. All right. This stuff is just, it's not even really like lubricant anymore. It's just nasty. Clean that up good. Like I said, this is bent. The whole freaking thing is bent. We'll have to take a good look at that. You gotta knock that pin out of there. You're gonna need a really small, I fight this every time. But I keep everything in the same place, so I know where to go for. It's like a surgeon and his tools. You're going to need a really small. That might be too small, actually. This is an 1/8 inch. That's a 16th. This is an 1/8. Going to need an 1/8 inch, I believe. Yes. We're going to knock that pin out of there. I don't know. Maybe that is too big. You either have to get this off, you either have to knock that pin out down there or this pin. I always choose to go with this pin. Okay. Here goes. We'll see how hard that pin is in there. Oh, it's going. I don't like to knock it all the way out. Oops. I like to get it out just far enough to get the handle off. Leave the pin in there. We'll leave that out. Get that out of the way. I don't need that anymore. You got a plastic, or I think it's a plastic washer. It's really dirty. This comes off. It doesn't look bent once I get it off of there. It may be that. Take this E-clip off. Hang on to it so it doesn't fly. It's a pretty good size E-clip for a small reel. You got one shim. They always have one shim right there. It's like a thrust washer, I guess. And there it is. This is bent. No, maybe not. Nah, it's probably fine. So, is that bent? You have to do something to bend that shaft. I mean, there's Volkswagens don't have that big of shafts in the axles. Let's just roll it and see. No, not bent. I don't know why I ended up like that. It could be that handle adjuster. But you can switch these reels from left hand retrieve to right hand retrieve. I'm not going to switch this one because it's already set up the way I like to use it. I'm not going to keep the reel, but and that brings up another topic. I'm thinking about opening my eBay store back up. As you know, I'm out of work right now waiting on surgery. It's May. Actually, it's the 1st of June. So by the time this video comes out, it'll be September. I'll probably be back to work, but I've got to get rid of some stuff between now and then. So that's the story on that. I hope you like my little trip down the ultralight memory lane here. I'm going to put those back on my shelf and clean this reel up, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I have it all cleaned up and ready to go back together. Oh, me. Did I tell you how it's been raining for like 4 days straight and cold? The old bones don't want to move today. We'll do the rotor first. Just giving that a little bit of lube. I see some stuff. I always do. I need better lighting over my wash tank, is what the problem is. Get this cleaned up really good for that spring. That looks pretty good. Give it lots of lube. That spring is tight in there. It's not the right spring for this reel, but it works. So we're going to go with it. Very, very tight fit. Hopefully it'll work. It worked the first time. We'll see if it works the second time. Oh, me. Yeah. And because this isn't the right spring, it does not set exactly right. We're going to make it work. So if I tell you how I'm setting this, it's not going to work for the right stuff. And yes, you can get these springs on eBay. They're not super expensive. All right, we're going to go with that. I got to get this thing all the way around to right there. And then I can tighten it down. See where it's at? Like I said, it ain't right for this. But we're going to make it right. That's got to get a little bit of oil on it down there. That's a heavy oil, like a 90 weight. That's from my RC car racing days. I've had that stuff around for a long time. There it goes. Come on. You can tighten that down. Maybe. Good day. What'd I do here? Loosen it back up. All right. Everything's locked up unto itself here. Good grief. Now, It's just the little things, folks. It's the little things. Tighten that up pretty good. So it goes, it locks in over here and comes around, it fires it. Whew. It fires it pretty good, but that's okay. Lock this in over here. A little bit of, I got some pin oil here, that'll be good. It's the first thing I reached for. Put your roller on. Slide your bell wire up into the bell arm. Put a tooth washer on it. And I'm just going to give it just a little dab of grease. Just a little dab. A little dab will do. And then put your acorn nut on there. I'm just using a pair of adjustable, or a set of adjustable wrench here. But if you have any, like, Craftsman made a set of, they call them ignition wrenches back in the day. If you have some of those, they'll work perfect for these smaller screws. They made them in metric and standard. That's done. Let's put our handle assembly back together. It looks really good and it wasn't bent, so I'm not sure why it looked like that. We'll put some oil on it. Put some oil on this. And it just goes up in there. Then you had shim, brass shim, copper shim, whatever we'll call it. Big E-clip. You'll need some help setting that clip. It's pretty stout. Guess it's in there. Yeah. Then you've got your handle tightening. This is what you call the, you would use this for travel. So you fold your handle down for travel. That goes back on there, and you've got a little Teflon washer that goes in there. And then this, I'm going to try to do it with my hand so it doesn't make a whole bunch of racket. Drive it. Probably not going to work. Or maybe so. All right. We'll put that in there. Just like that. If you don't take it all the way out, there's not a whole lot to put back together. Let's see why it still looks wobbly. The shaft is not bent. I don't know what to tell you. This paddle is removable. I don't normally take them off unless they're really stuck. Okay, we're moving right along. Cleaned that bearing up. It went really, really well. In fact, I'm going to put some good old Boca. I ordered some more of this. It's on the way today. Should be here in a day or two. Lightning lube. It's good stuff. I highly recommend it for bearings. You put that in there and you push on that grease, and this is called packing the bearings. So you put it in there and you push it, and you see how it comes through the other side? That bearing is good to go. That bearing will do its job for years now. It was pretty messed up. I ran it in ultrasonic for about a minute, and then I went over to the WD-40 tank and washed it out really good, and then went back into ultrasonic for about another minute, and it's good. Do need to press it back on to the shaft, I do it like this. You can do it in your hand. You've got a non-marring hammer, just pound it in. You will know it's seated when that sound changes. Right there. That is how you know you've got the, whatever you're knocking on with a hammer seated, the sound pitch changes. So, I always give these bearing pockets a little bit of lube. And it goes in. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's give that bushing down in there some grease. Give that worm gear some grease right where it goes into that bushing. And then we'll grease the bearing up in a minute. So that's in there. You've got shield. We can put a little more grease in there. Put shield in it. Wavy washer. Snap ring. I'm using snap ring pliers. I use these on a lot of reels. These are Craftsman 38079. Probably get them at any Ace Hardware. They sell Craftsman now. Maybe even Lowe's. Good luck ordering anything at Lowe's, but you can order them off of Amazon. 38079. They are inner outers. They switch. And these fishing reels have a lot of these different styles. This is for an inside, and then you can switch over here for an outside. Very, very handy. See? We'll switch it back to the inside because 90% of the reels I work on do not have outside snap rings. Now I've got a couple different snap ring pliers over here. These I use the most. I highly recommend those. I've got this other set of Craftsman's from years ago, and these switch like this. You take that out, okay, and how's that work? It goes in over here, and then you use them like that. And then you switch them back. I have got broken drill bits on there for something I had to get off, and I had to file them at an edge, or knife edge. Then I've got, I've got these that have interchangeable tips. I don't like them too much. They're pretty worthless. I know my big head's in the way here. I'm sorry. I've got these that are for external type of snap rings only. But I like those needles at the end. They stick into stuff really. But these are the ones you need. Okay. Back to the plan at hand here. Let's squeeze this gear up good. You know, for a $2 reel, this is going to turn out pretty good. I've got nothing in it in parts. I had parts in stock. All right, I like to put the anti-reverse at the bottom. They had it back here. I don't like it right there. I always put it at the bottom. I think it was at the back. Your cross wind goes on like this, and you got a shim and a keeper. I'll probably need a little help with that keeper. Yeah, there we go. Give that a little bit of oil too, or grease, I'm sorry. So while I've got a way to hold this shaft, I'm going to thread this rotor on. I don't know how I forgot that about these reels, but I did. I think I've run into that a couple of times, and it's just like it escapes my memory that it's a pain to try to get those off, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's right. It has to be spun off. And this nut just jams it on there, basically. It's a jam nut, because you already got threads in the rotor. All right. Take your axle shaft, put some oil on it. It goes into the cross line. There's a hold line up in there, and this little pin, I'll put just a little bit of grease on it, goes in. I still haven't put my screws in the cover yet. Okay, don't over tighten that. And your cover goes on. This is like a bit of a challenge sometimes. You put your screws in, get them all kind of lined up. Don't tighten them down yet. And once you get them down there, you can tighten them on, get all three of them lined up, tighten it on up. Don't over tighten these. This cover is thin. Just run them down good and snug. The tight one you can get, the top one you can get pretty tight. Yeah, see, I might got that bottom one too tight right there. And get the anti-reverse in the right spot. It's a little stiff, not gonna lie, it's a little stiff. I think it will wear in. Yeah, it's getting smoother. Oh yeah. It's not a super duper smooth. It's not bad. Okay. Your spool. You make sure that little fiber washer's on there. Put this on. Your bait clicker should click. Let's get some of this extra oil out of here. We don't need that much. I like a little bit of oil with the Teflon washer, but not that much. Put drop in there. Put that on. Drop, drop. put your keyed washer on, tension washer, and then your adjuster knob. And a little drop of oil on the spool release. That spring was extra. That's the one I was missing. I found it when I took the reel apart. There it is. Wish it was a little smoother. Let's see something here. No, it's not in there. It's not the bearing. Must be the gears. Not much I can do about that. All right, well, there it is. John, the Bench Fisherman. With another nice old ultralight. Oh, I need to check the bell trip. Hang on. That's a stiff bell spring, but it's never going to not flip. And then to transport it, you just pull that lever and it folds down, and you can fold the handle down and it'll go in your car really easy. I like these old bells that flip all the way down. Just not as slick as I want it to be, folks, but honestly don't know what to do about that. It gets tight right there at the bottom of the travel on the main shaft. That shaft could have been bent a little bit. It is bent. Just ever so slightly. Oh yeah. Now maybe a little bit this way. Somebody dropped the reel. Look at that. Still got a little bit in it. What you got to do is watch and look at the gap. To the main gear, or the worm gear. Yeah, it's got to go that way. Just a little bit in it. Right there at the very bottom, it just hits. Let's spin it right there. Maybe. Yeah, it's right there. That's a lot better. Still not perfect. It still jams up right there at the bottom, but there it is. All right, we got it fixed. It'll make somebody a nice little ultralight reel. Kind of like it. Not gonna be keeping it. I've got several of these, including I've got one that's like brand new in a box, and I got this one I use. Gotta start letting go of some of these things. I sold 3 reels yesterday. I might get my eBay store back up and let a few go. Well, this is John, Vintage Fisherman. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and take a kid fishing.